Hey Steelers fans, welcome back. Today we are diving deep into everything that has been happening with our team. And let me tell you, it has been a roller coaster of a season so far. There's been so much to unpack, from individual player heroics to games that test the very resilience of this squad. And if you've been following along, you know it has not been a straight path by any means. One story that stands out and really shows the character in this locker room revolves around DK Metcalf. The guy stepped up in a moment where you wouldn't expect it. Ben Skoranek, dealing with a finger injury, couldn't participate in punt coverage, and Metcalf, who had barely trained in that role back in college, took it upon himself to fill in. What he did was nothing short of remarkable. He faced two Ravens head-on, engaging them for an entire play, and while Peyton Wilson ultimately made the tackle, the space Metcalf created and the impact he had on field positioning was huge. It's the kind of effort that goes unnoticed on the stat sheet but can define games, and Mike Tomlin himself has acknowledged how much it meant, not just for him, but for the team's morale and unity. Watching a player text his coach late at night, pumped for the game and ready to give everything, really captures the dedication within this group. This is a team that has faced highs and lows unlike anything we've seen recently. But the pattern emerging is interesting. Even in moments of adversity, when the cards are stacked against them, they seem to find a way to fight through it. The Steelers may be flawed. They have certainly fallen short at times and failed to meet expectations, but they haven't given up, and that's something worth noting. The fan base may feel frustration, and that's valid. Emotions run high when your team experiences swings between brilliant victories and heartbreaking losses. But for the players, it is clear they haven't checked out. Listening to them and watching how they interact on the field, especially in that Baltimore matchup, you can see the effort and commitment firsthand. They are battling for each other, scrapping harder than their opponents at crucial moments. And when things align internally, when their focus is sharp and they're on the same page, the results can be significant. Looking back over the schedule gives us a clearer perspective on the type of season the Steelers are navigating. Consider their performance against the Patriots in Foxborough. At that time, New England was the #1 team in the AFC, and yet Pittsburgh held them to just 14 points. Since then, the Patriots have won every single game, 10 in a row, and in none of those did they score fewer than 23 points. That performance alone shows the Steelers' potential when everything clicks. It also highlights how unpredictable football can be. The previous week had been a tough wake-up call with the Seahawks, but the team responded, showing resilience and determination. Even after setbacks such as the losses to the Bengals and Packers, and the difficult game against the Colts, who were at the top of the league at the time, the Steelers proved early on in those contests that they were willing to compete relentlessly, refusing to be overwhelmed. Every play, every snap, their intensity demonstrated that despite the scorelines or the record, the heart of this team remains intact. It hasn't been perfect, of course. There have been losses that stung, moments where the criticism from fans was loud, and some games that were ugly in execution. Yet, even after those defeats, the response has often been one of quiet resilience rather than surrender. That mentality is essential because as we look ahead to the remaining games of the season, the challenges continue. Upcoming matchups include the Dolphins, who have been improving steadily, and then road tests in Detroit and Cleveland. Each presents its own set of difficulties, and the question is how the Steelers will manage not just the opponents, but also the environment, particularly hostile stadiums and critical fan moments. My sense is that this team has developed the right reflexes to handle pressure. They've been tested under the noise and intensity of the crowd, and time and again, they've responded in ways that show maturity, focus, and a refusal to fold under negativity. The pattern of this season is almost surreal at times, with the extreme highs and lows, the unpredictable outcomes, and yet, when the team comes together, the chemistry and effort are undeniable. It's evident in how they execute on special teams, how players cover for each other, and how they fight for every yard. That kind of cohesion doesn't happen by accident. It is cultivated by leadership on and off the field. While the debate about coaching and direction continues outside the locker room, The reality is that the players are performing, sacrificing, and stepping up in ways that demand recognition. Even in games where the outcome is uncertain, where controversy or questionable calls could swing momentum, Pittsburgh's roster has shown a consistency in effort that cannot be overlooked. Take, for example, the resilience displayed in Baltimore. The Steelers faced a hostile environment, a critical game, and high stakes, yet the team executed under pressure. Individual performances like Metcalf's effort, coupled with a collective commitment to protect each other and compete until the whistle, highlight the underlying strength of this squad. It's not flawless, certainly, and there remain areas for improvement, but this blend of perseverance, adaptability, and toughness forms the foundation of what makes the Steelers competitive even against the best in the league. When we talk about measuring a team, it's easy to focus on wins and losses, statistics, and highlight reels, but the intangible qualities, the leadership, the chemistry, the response to adversity, often make the difference between a good team and a team capable of playoff success. What makes this narrative even more compelling is the pattern of performance against top competition. The Steelers have already defeated 3 of the current top 9 teams in the conference, including notable victories where their execution and preparation were critical. These moments reveal a team capable of rising to the occasion, even when facing perceived superiority from opponents. It demonstrates that the character of this squad cannot be underestimated. Their ability to respond to setbacks, to adjust mid-game, and to support one another through physical and emotional challenges is a testament to the culture instilled within the organization. This culture, cultivated by coaching and embraced by the players, ensures that even in a season of unpredictability, Pittsburgh remains a team to watch, a team that refuses to fold, and a team that continues to compete at the highest level despite the hurdles encountered along the way. As we move deeper into the season, the focus shifts toward how the Steelers will handle the stretch run and the intensity of every remaining matchup. Next up is the Dolphins at home, a team that has been steadily improving and showing signs of cohesion on both sides of the ball. Miami is not an opponent to underestimate, and the atmosphere on Monday night will certainly test Pittsburgh's poise. The challenge here is not just tactical, it's psychological. How will the Steelers respond if the crowd gets loud, if momentum swings against them early, if mistakes happen? From what we've seen so far, this is a team that thrives when facing adversity. They don't crumble when a call goes against them or when things get chaotic. They adjust, adapt, and continue to compete relentlessly. That resilience has been a hallmark of Pittsburgh's approach this season. Following the Dolphins, the road test in Detroit presents a different set of challenges. The Lions have proven to be a well-rounded, disciplined football team with the ability to execute consistently on both sides of the ball. Road games are always a test of focus, travel resilience, and mental toughness, and Detroit will demand every ounce of effort from the Steelers. However, this team has shown that when they commit fully, when they trust in each other and buy into the scheme, they are capable of matching any opponent blow for blow. What becomes intriguing here is watching how Pittsburgh balances aggression with patience. They cannot rush into mistakes, nor can they allow the tempo of a hostile crowd to dictate their play. The execution of fundamentals, the trust in each other's roles, and the ability to make adjustments mid-game will likely determine the outcome. Then comes the crucial matchup in Cleveland, a game that carries enormous implications for playoff positioning. A victory here could propel the Steelers into a very strong position, possibly even securing a spot in the postseason, while a loss could create uncertainty and pressure heading into the final games. Cleveland is no easy opponent. They have athleticism, skill, and a disciplined approach to both offense and defense. Pittsburgh will need to maintain focus, minimize errors, and capitalize on opportunities. Historically, games like this reveal character, who steps up, who responds under pressure, and who can elevate their performance when it matters most. This season has already offered glimpses of those moments, from Metcalf's unexpected heroics to collective team efforts that swing field position and momentum. Those moments are now part of the narrative as the Steelers approach this decisive stretch. Looking ahead to the regular season finale against the Ravens in Pittsburgh, the stakes could be immense. A game that might seem ordinary in October could suddenly carry playoff-level intensity in January. This matchup always generates tension, not just because of the rivalry, but because of the high-caliber talent on both sides. Ravens games test every aspect of a team: strategy, execution, endurance, and mental toughness. For Pittsburgh, it is an opportunity to prove that the lessons learned over the season, the adjustments made, and the grit developed in prior contests can translate into critical wins. The team's ability to feed off adversity rather than be paralyzed by it will be fascinating to observe. There is a sense that Pittsburgh performs at its best when challenged, when the environment is loud, intense, and seemingly unfavorable. This paradox has been one of the most compelling storylines of the season. Throughout all of this, the coaching role cannot be ignored. While debates around Mike Tomlin and organizational direction persist, his influence on the team's mentality is tangible. The leadership structure, the insistence on accountability, and the expectation of effort create a culture where players push themselves and each other. Even in games where errors happen or outcomes are uncertain, the framework Tomlin has established allows the Steelers to compete consistently. Players like Metcalf, who step into unfamiliar roles with determination and courage, are products of that environment. The coaching philosophy ensures that effort, preparation, and adaptability remain at the forefront, even when mistakes occur or stakes are high. The connection between leadership and performance is evident in how the team executes in critical moments, how they recover from setbacks, and how they maintain focus amidst distraction. This season has also illustrated how unpredictable football can be. Every game presents new challenges, injuries, unexpected performances, and situational twists that require quick thinking and resilience. Steelers players have demonstrated that they can adjust in real time, whether it's a special teams play that alters field position or a defensive stand that changes the momentum. Their ability to respond effectively, often under intense pressure, underscores the depth and character of this roster. It is not simply talent that defines success. It is preparation, mental toughness, and the willingness to sacrifice personal glory for the good of the team. These intangible qualities often make the difference between a team that contends and one that falters, and Pittsburgh has exhibited those traits repeatedly this season. As the playoffs loom, every decision, every snap, and every adjustment becomes magnified. The Steelers are navigating a season filled with challenges, but their record against top competition demonstrates their capability. Wins over high-ranking teams show that they can rise to the occasion, while losses against equally skilled opponents reveal areas for growth. What remains compelling is their response after setbacks. After tough losses, they have shown the ability to refocus, to correct mistakes, and to return with renewed intensity. This cyclical pattern of challenge, response, and adaptation creates a narrative that is as fascinating as it is unpredictable. Fans may debate coaching, strategy, or individual performances, but the underlying truth is clear. Pittsburgh remains a team that fights relentlessly, learns from adversity, and never loses sight of the ultimate goal: competing at the highest level possible. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Steel City insiders woke up agitated after a fleeting comment from head coach Mike Tomlin set off a tidal wave of speculation across the league. Reports began circulating that Tomlin had confirmed a trade involving superstar linebacker T.J. Watt to the Philadelphia Eagles, though no official statement from the front office has yet followed. Still, the murmurs grew loud enough that even seasoned analysts admitted they couldn't fully dismiss what sounded, at first, like pure off-season theater. Whispers coming from the team facility suggest Tomlin's remark wasn't accidental. Some staffers claim he referred to a necessary move for the long-term vision, a phrase that instantly ignited debate. Was he speaking broadly about roster evolution, or was it an intentional nod toward a blockbuster negotiation already in motion? The ambiguity has fans dissecting every syllable, replaying interviews, and searching for hidden meaning in body language. In Philadelphia, The rumor hit like a shockwave. Local reporters started receiving anonymous tips about unusual activity in the Eagles' personnel department. A few even speculated that internal discussions have been ongoing for weeks, centered around a defensive overhaul and a marquee addition, one that could reshape the identity of the unit overnight. Whether those whispers hold any truth or are simply fueled by wishful thinking remains unclear. What, known for his relentless motor and franchise cornerstone presence, has not commented publicly. The absence of denial, though not evidence of anything, has only heightened the intrigue. Pittsburgh supporters, already anxious, wonder how the locker room would absorb such a seismic shift. Could the team really part with its defensive heartbeat? Or is this entire storm nothing more than a misunderstood statement amplified into myth? For now, the situation lives in that blurry space between rumor and revelation. Tomlin's words may have been harmless, or they may have been the first crack in a story still waiting to break wide open. Until the organization steps forward with clarity, the NFL world remains locked onto the possibility, however faint, that TJ what could soon be wearing midnight green. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.